All right, so you've learned how to do short form copy. We're going to start moving into other forms of copy. I'm going to start teaching you about how to do landing pages and other forms of longer form sales copy. However, before we dive into this, I want to give you a framework or a skill set that will allow you to learn any form of copy that you need to, right? Um, and I'm going to teach you how to model successful copy. You have to understand that copy formats change endlessly, right? There's new mediums, new social media platforms, new design trends. Things change constantly in the marketing world. So you need to learn how to adapt. Back in the day, direct response copywriting was all done with like actual physical letters that you mailed out to people, right? Like it looked like this. You get like a couple pages in an envelope, and it would be a sales letter like this, a literal letter in the mail that would try to convince you to buy the Wall Street Journal, right? Or it would be like old school full-time back of the magazine and a comic book ad kind of deal where you cut this out physically down here at the bottom and mail it in, get your thing. This ad, by the way, made millions and millions of dollars back in the day. It was a huge success. But and then when people first started going online and using copywriting, direct response marketing online, there were strange looking websites. Like it was this weird yellow stuff. It looked like this, or weird, like highlighted stuff. The formats keep changing. Right now, there's a million different kinds of pages, different kinds of funnels, lead funnels, webinars, sales pages, Facebook ads. It changes. You've got these type of pages, or simple landing page, or that type of Facebook ad, or this weird landing page. Like it never ends, right? The forms will always change based on the medium. It changed when mobile came out and people started using mobile, and it will continue to change as we move forward, right? Who knows? In the future, we might have copywriting that's all done with Neuralink, and you can just like see it. Like we don't know what the medium's gonna look like, but the fundamental psychological like principles, the thing that occurs in the mind and the human mind, persuasion, motivation, all that stuff, it remains the same, right? No matter what the medium is. So as long as you can see successful examples of copy in a new format, you can model it. You now can kind of reverse engineer how they did it, and then you can turn around and write successful copy in that new format as well. You just have to see it, read it, pay attention to what they're doing, how they're doing it, and you can make it happen, right? You need to just identify the skeleton, or kind of like what they're doing, right? Like I've shown you some frameworks for DIC, like DIC copy, for example. You can identify, okay, they're doing a disrupt section, they're doing an intrigue section, they're doing a click section. And that's kind of a skeleton that you can use to write your own copy using that format. Now, let's say you find a new format of copy, a new framework. You can identify that new framework for yourself, invent your own frameworks based on something that you've seen successful, and then you can just copy it, right? You'll identify different sections of copy or different sort of psychological things that are occurring in different pieces of copy, and then you can just model it and copy it for yourself. You can then take that skeleton and then flesh out the elements from your own brand or product. So you can take sort of the formula and just plug and play your own avatar, situation, the product, the solution, all that stuff, and just plug and play the language to that formula and produce pretty good copy on the other side, right? Let me give you a quick example. So let's say you wanted to write a good email or good subject line. You can go look at your own inbox to find a subject you like this. This is like from a swipe file or a bunch of emails that I've collected. All right. I thought this one was okay, right? How to quit your day job from someone who's done it. That was a pretty good little format for a subject line or a fascination. You can just take that and you just swap out the elements in that subject line that are specific to their brand with elements that are specific to your brand, right? So let's say, here's the original subject line, how to quit your day job from someone who's done it. And you can just convert that over to how to bench 3 plates for reps from someone who can, right? It's, obviously this is for like a strength training or something program. But I just swapped, instead of quit your day job, I put bench 3 plates for reps, and then like just change the grammar here so it made sense. Now I have a killer fascination, right? I think you can repeat the process all the way through the email. I'd be like, okay, he caught their attention with this type of question. I can use that type of question, but I adapted for this. Oh, he stacked the curiosity this way. I'll stack the curiosity that way. Oh, he did a CTA like this. I'll do the CTA like that, but I'll change it up for my stuff. You can just copy the formula and just plug and play your own stuff. And then boom, you've got a successful email. That's most likely work because it's based on an already successful email that is working, right? You can do this with landing pages. You can do it with Facebook ads. You can do it with anything. Webinars. You just you consume the copy. You now understand how copy works. You understand how persuasion works. You understand how curiosity works. You just see what they're doing and kind of how they're doing it. And then you can model it with your own copy, right? You can now apply it from anything that we're currently doing to new forms of copy for new platforms that haven't been invented yet. It doesn't matter if you can read it. If you can try and understand what they're doing and how they're doing it, then you can copy it and model it for yourself, right? So when you set out to write a landing page or any form of copy for that matter, even from emails to Facebook ads, it's a good idea to first find other successful, similar pieces of copy to model, and then copy those for yourself or find out how they're doing it and then use that information to inform your work. So how do you find successful pieces of copy to study and model? Right. So first of all, you should be paying attention very closely to the copy you encounter in your world as you're going through social media or consuming this, consuming that. You should be paying attention to the copy that's working. And if you see something that you like, an email, a web page, a webinar, or whatever, you need to download as a PDF or screenshot it or record it or whatever and save it, right? You want to create a Google Drive folder to store the copy that you save. This collection of good copy that you find and build up is going to be called a swipe file, right? It's something you can go to swipe inspiration from in the future. Now, over time, it's going to be a huge library, right? And it'll be a place for you to go to get inspiration, to break down copy, to learn new lessons. It's a valuable asset that you're going to have. It can take a long time to build up a good swipe file. So in the meantime, you can borrow the community swipe file for this copywriting campus. Got the link here. It'll be somewhere you can access it as well. It's got a bunch of good starter pieces of copy for you to learn from. It's a good resource. You also want to sign up for as many email newsletters as possible, right? Now, it's a good idea to do this with a completely new standalone Gmail account. So go make a new Gmail account. That way you don't ruin your main email address with just thousands and thousands. I've got 17,000 unread messages in mine, but it's just a place I can go if I need to get inspiration, right? And that kind of becomes your email swipe file, a good place to go to get a feel for what's going on, kind of see some good stuff just to model from. So you're going to build up your own swipe file. You're going to build up your own email, subscription swipe file. But another way to do it, and it's one of the best ways to do it, is to go find Facebook ads that are working well, right? So you go look for ads in your feed, Facebook, Instagram, etc., that have lots of likes and comments, because the more engagement, the more likes and comments, the longer that ad's been running. The longer that ad's been running, that means they've been spending a lot of money to run that ad for a long period of time. If they've been spending a lot of money to run that ad for a long period of time, chances are that the ad is profitable, so it's a good ad, and chances are the funnel, so the landing page, the emails, and everything else on the back end of it is profitable as well, right? People usually spend money on things that aren't profitable. So you can go through and just on social media, scroll through, find ads that are working and follow the thread down and find sales pages and stuff. There's some plugins and stuff too that you can install on Google Chrome that'll just filter your feed by ads. You can go find those. They're pretty easy to Google and find. But you can use this method to find a lot of profitable new funnels and new pages to model, things that are working that you hadn't seen before. Anyways, there's a lot of good things you can do as you go out and try and find copy to model. You're going to learn lessons by seeking this out and breaking it down yourself. You're going to find things that work. You're going to find things that don't work. Obviously, even if a page is profitable, that doesn't mean they're doing everything right. But before you sit down to write a landing page, it's a good idea to go and try and find other landing pages you like, and then figure out what they're doing, how they're doing it, and then use that information to inform how you're writing your copy. And again, I do this today. If I sit down to do a copywriting project, the first thing I do after I've done my research and all that stuff on the product and avatars, I'm going to go find competitors. I'm going to go find people in similar fields. I'm going to review my swipe file. I'm going to try and find inspiration. I'm going to see what they're doing and how they're doing it. I'm going to draw from that to inform what I do so I can be successful right out of the gate with the copy that I write.